GNX and black Air Forces. Hey, we got the right attire on today. Got the black, got the LA Dodgers. Shout out to LA, shout out to the West Coast, and shout out to King Kendrick, the greatest rapper of all time. I said it, always said, I've been saying it for the past 8 years after Damn dropped. Kendrick Lamar. Now, first and foremost, if you want to see my first time reaction review, then check out the link below. If you want to see any other exclusive content, then tap into the Patreon. But this right here, this review is needed because my first time reaction was first time. And also, I feel like I rushed the review at the end. I had things to do after, whatever. And after having listened to it maybe 20 plus times and then then watching other reactions, listening to other reviews, comments upon comments, and other social media apps like TikTok and Instagram, people popping up with their theories and their own analysis. I love it. I said, you know what? Let me get back up here and just give additional thoughts to the album. Now, first off, I wrote some notes, so I have the notes right here, but it is going to be off the top of the head as well. But there's some parts like this album is very dense, even though he watered it down for us. It still goes over a lot of people's heads, but there's still so much to pick apart because this is who Kendrick is. He is a visionary. He is a creative. He's someone that, even with the project that possibly is a mixtape for him, possibly, we'll get into that, he still is able to give us so much within it. Kendrick is not a hot pocket type rapper. He is someone that is going to give you a full course meal. Shout out to Thanksgiving being tomorrow. Kendrick is Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? He is top tier. He's not a fast food type of guy. Even with the album having a lot more of that, he's still right after it says, hold on, I'm still Kendrick Lamar, the Sing About Me, the Art of Peer Pressure, the Fear, Feel, Mother I Sober, Kendrick Lamar. So that being said, let's actually go track by track. Whacked Out Murals is of course because his mural got spray painted over in his own hometown, and it speaks on so deeply, feeling the disrespect and feeling almost like, you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's almost like LeBron James. When you start to get to a certain point and then you start to hear the rhetoric that people are using, you're like, yo, he's LeBron James. He's great. All right, you can have your own feelings about Michael Jordan. You can have your own feelings about the Drakes, the Lil Waynes, or over here with the Tupacs and the legends of the West Coast. But Kendrick Lamar is Kendrick Lamar. He's proved it time and time again. So the disrespect that he feels, he's like, yo, what the hell is this? And he's able to really come off aggressively and start off and hit us perfectly with Whacked Out Murals. Also, side note, remember that pause? The second pause was probably Diddy, but the first pause, somebody actually put this, which is funny because it does rhyme. Right after he said, I paid homage and I always mind my business, it says, I made the blink Cole ask for forgiveness. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. Just telling you what possibly could have been said. But I feel like the first song sets the tone on the album, what the album really is going to represent, because he speaks on it. He says, I don't really care about the quadruple entendres. I just want y'all to feel this shit. And I feel like this album is all about a feeling. I feel like there's three things that happens in this album. One is going to be the feeling. Second thing is going to be the GNX, the car, the Grand National Experimental. And then the third thing is going to be the prophet, or I would say the spiritual side that this album flows back and forth from. So even though he says, I want y'all to feel this, I'm not going to play around with all these crazy lyrical, miracle, all this type of stuff. He still does. We still have so much to pick apart from, but we all know it's definitely the most feeling album that Kendrick has when it comes to the beat bumping. You just wanted to move. This is the most that I ever just wanted to dance listening to Kendrick Lamar. I loved it. We needed that. And that's why even when it comes to the Damn album, a lot of people are saying, well, that album was the most radio. And yeah, at that time it was, but even still, I knew he was holding back, right? We all felt like, it's radio, but it's not all the way radio. And that's why people, what did they say? All the haters would say with Kendrick Lamar's discographies, they would say he doesn't have any songs that you can dance to. The clubs don't play. When you have a shawty getting in your whip, then you can't play Kendrick. You got to turn off Kendrick and put on Drake. That's what everybody would say. Every time that I'm even getting into a debate back then, that's what they would say. So when Not Like Us dropped, he made the record that us Kendrick fans always knew, but within the lyrics, it is tarnishing someone else to a whole fucking degree. That kind of put a stain to it a little bit within the argument, because then the people said, oh, well, it's because Drake is a part of it. All right, now on the flip side, he has bangers upon bangers in this album that doesn't have that stain that we could just go crazy with. So the feeling within it is it's going to be playful. It's going to be a little lighthearted, but he's going to smoothly go through back and forth. And you know what? Let's actually stay on topic real quick, because with Kendrick, he always has a setting. So let's start with that. Let's start with the setting of where I believe this album is. With Mr. Mirror on the Big Steppers, the album is set within a therapy session. Within Good Kid, Mad City, the album is set within wherever he tells us it's set in, because it's a story. We're literally in the story. And to put Butterfly, we all know, is set within him sitting across from Tupac. He's reading us this poem that has everything to do with each song, finally going to the ending of Mortal Man, where he's reading the poem to Tupac. We get that interview. So the whole time, that's where it was set. I believe this album is set with Kendrick sitting inside of his GNX, driving through Compton. And where is he going? He's going through each environment within where he grew up. So either present day, he's driving throughout each environment he grew up, or secondly, it's him younger looking and admiring. So it's probably both, looking around at his environment, maybe reminiscing sometimes. Why do I say this? Because a lot of the music that's intertwined is music that you listen to growing up. One Mic by Nas at Man in the Garden, Tupac. We have even some Biggie flows throughout some songs. SWV is sampled. The West Coast bangers that you would grow up with. Luther Vandross. But just to make it simple, let's just say it's present day that he's driving. And you know what happened? Each song would flow from back and forth. And so what I really feel like is happening is he would look out his window as a good kid in the Mad City. And the Mad City where he's from, his environment is that West Coast, the Squabble Up, the Hey Now, the TV Off, the Peekaboo, the GNX. And that's why it keeps going back and forth, because what really is happening though, what really makes him the artist, and just like how I am, just like how many of us are, I'm on the city bus growing up. I'm listening to different styles of music that a lot of people don't rock with, that isn't hard, isn't tough, that isn't gangster, that type of music. And that's what he literally has between each song. But then what happens? He has his homies on the songs that are the West Coast bangers. So it's going back and forth. And I think that also plays on the duality complex, which is this entire album. Like I said, it's not just the feeling, it's not just the car, it's the spiritual side. The duality complex that he has battled forever, and on this album is more prevalent than ever. He finally just sticks to duality complex, where it's Lucifer and God. It is war and peace, right? Where is the peace coming from? I deserve it all. Where's the peace? Gloria, talking about his pen, getting back into reminiscing. His peace has him think about his art in such a complex, beautiful, deep way. His peace is him reminiscing about the TDE, those days, and coming to grips and losing his ego and saying it was my fault that Black Hippie wasn't going to the next level. It's me, right? But then the war is Squabble Up. The war is Peekaboo. Bing, bop, boom, bop, bam. The type of shit that you don't understand. Like, what? It's fun. Super hot fire. That is battling. That's beef. It's the duality of going back and forth, back and forth. Before we continue, let's go into some notes real quick. Shout out to King X Green. He said this is a mixtape. No vinyls were dropped. No label push. Influenced by Nas, Pac, SWV, Biggie Flow, West Coast Legends, mimicking Pac's Machiavelli album. 12 songs. 12 songs for both of them. And was supposed to be a mixtape to put on his West Coast friends. This man usually makes time capsules for albums. This is a snapshot. I 1000% agree with him. This was him inspired by the Machiavelli tape, because look, he put on Friends. People were wondering that. Where's the Baby Keem? Where's the Vince Staples? Where is TDE? I thought Ab-Soul was going to be on the Heart Part 6 the way that it started, right? So I believe that this is just a taste of what's to come. I'm gonna dive deeper into the notes, and then we're gonna rank the album and stuff. I also like the Easter egg that Dodger Blue is track 8, and the LA Dodgers just won their 8th chip. So that's just, everything is intentional with him. And of course, he starts off most of the songs with a peaceful, beautiful Mexican mariachi singer, Dayra Barrera. And he found her at the Dodgers game. So that was really, really cool. And I think that also, two parts about that. One, that also makes me feel like this is just the start of his album run. For him to do that on such a fly, because the finals just happened, right? The World Series just happened. So for him to just be like, oh, all right, we're just wrapping this up, because how Kendrick is, I feel like this was more so, hey, I'm doing this right now. I got something that is conceptual, that really is something to take off. This right here was just something I said, should I put it out? Yeah, let's do it. It kind of is like that untitled, unmastered, but I feel like way more polished, way better. Of course, this is a level, this is levels above, of course. Out of all the insane bars that Kendrick has on this album, I just wanted to pinpoint one of them real quick, and we're going to keep going. Remember when I caught that body and wiggled through that sentence? It's crazy because caught a body, wiggled through the sentence is I literally off somebody and I'm not going to jail for it. But also caught that body and I wiggled through that sentence. This is off of Gloria. Wiggle through the sentence, writing the sentence. Wiggle through is literally writing on a piece of paper, and it's all about his pen, his art. Crazy bar. And speaking of Gloria, how does the song end? Everything is intentional with Kendrick. It ends with SZA singing, Gloria, I want to take you to euphoria. And the duality complex is euphoria is what starts Kendrick's involvement in the rap battle. Well, like that does. But in his own single song is euphoria. Why would he have her sing that? Why would it be called? It's only really called Gloria for that part. No other time does she say Gloria. And so what I believe is all this might have been made before, possibly, or during euphoria. Like in our minds, it's supposed to be going in there, and it might even come to show us what side has won within the duality complex of Kendrick. Or it's just the opposite that's happened where he chose peace. Gloria, I want to take you to euphoria. Like, I'm done with that. I want to make a new euphoria. I really hate how some people are saying that you have to be from the West Coast or you have to really love West Coast music to like this album. Nah, I don't really see that. And also people aren't allowing Kendrick to have fun. He's the only rapper that has to remain conscious all the time. It's like, damn, let him have fun. We have people are like, I'm looking for that sing about me again. I'm looking for Count Me Out again. I'm like, yo, he already made these songs. These are his songs. Like, he's gonna come back and make those type of songs, but this is what we always wanted. I wanted to be able to dance to Kendrick for once. I wanted to squabble up just for once. You know what I'm saying? And now that we have GNX, cool. Let's move on to conceptual Kendrick then. Great. Even still, we have it on this album. After Squabble Up, which is a banger, amazing. Luther, flawless, beautiful. Oh my God, the sample is amazing. Him and SZA. A lot of people are comparing this to Love, Loyalty, All the Stars. And I've never been a huge fan of Loyalty, to be honest, you guys. Love took a little bit for me to grow on me. I don't know. I've been in my old school bag. I'm loving Luther more than those songs. Man at the Garden, Nas, One Mic inspired, especially after Nas did say Nas the only one that celebrated him. Perfect homage. And it's kind of funny that Nas the only one that celebrated me was also a little shot at Cole again because let Nas down. And so that was funny where he was talking about I let Lil Wayne down, but also Nas is the one that celebrated me. So that's just little jab. These 4 tracks to start off, perfect 4-track start for me. Man at the Garden is him giving himself his flowers. And I talked about this on my reaction, but him giving himself the flowers. And I feel like a lot of more people need to do this, especially men need to do this. I deserve it because it's mine. I deserve it all. And this last verse is definitely climbing up into my top 25. You know, he has so many great verses, but into my top 25 possibly of favorite Kendrick verses of all time. This last verse of Man at the Garden. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe with me. I did it with integrity, and niggas still trying to hate on me. That's same with Whacked Out Miros. I did it with integrity. Just wait and see. More blood be spilling. It's just paint to me. Just paint. Dangerously, nothing changed with me. Still got pain in me. Flip a coin. Want the shameless me or the famous me? Duality complex. Shameless or famous? How annoying does it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe. That's insane to me. He also says something similar on a different track where he said all these old flows and y'all try to say that they're your favorites, that they're the GOATs. He's reminding me of like Roman Reigns right now with the Roman Reigns promo, the tribal chief, I'm above everybody else. That's how Kendrick's reminding me up here. It's important I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time. I deserve it all. 10 out of 10 song. Hey Now is definitely on the edge for me. One of my least favorites, but it's fun. It's dope. Dodie 6 is cool up here. I love how the song progressively gets bigger and bigger with the synths and just the entire vibration and it grows. Let's skip Reincarnated for a second because that's a song that I really want to dive into for the last verse. That last verse is the most important, I believe. TV Off is a major hit again. Oh my God. With Lefty Gunplay, fire. And then I want to belt out Mustard. Yo, the memes are crazy. We got Goku, Super Saiyan Vegeta. Come on, I'm loving this shit with TV off. That's what I'm saying. Have fun, yo. Have some fun for once. We needed this. We're bumping it. We're going crazy. I get on their ass. Somebody got to do it. I'll make them niggas mad. If somebody got to do it, I'll take a G pass. Yeah, watch the nigga do it. Oh, my God. Dodger Blue is cool. That's that interlude. That's real smooth right there. See, we're in the car, and some people are actually saying that he is the car. That's an important message as well, that he possibly is the car. But for him to put Dodger Blue and just to have that good smooth, I really feel like this is him being back into his piece. You see TV off, he's talking about it. Turn his TV off, he's really, really hyped up, but then he gets to be back into that mode of the, once again, the warrior in the garden, man at the garden. The entire ending of Reincarnated is really where he's letting it be known what's happening here. Why are we keep going back and forth from peace and aggression, from calm, smooth shit and aggression? And that's what makes the album even sound better, is the flow. Like I tell you guys all the time, the track placement is important. If he would have had TV off, Peekaboo, GNX, back 3 songs like that, it's really, really tough. It gave us breathing room. Peekaboo is my least favorite song though. It's cheesy, it's whatever, like it's cool. Like I don't have a problem with Peekaboo, but it is, come on, for me, I have to admit, it's my least favorite. It's my least favorite song. And that's the thing, I'm not a stan. Even though he's my GOAT, I can still say when something's just, it just ain't for me. But for this project, it's okay. You know, for this project, it's okay. But you know what else is dope about Kendrick's music? I was thinking about how you could put Drake into a playlist, you could put Future in a playlist, and a bunch of other artists that you could make a playlist for them, and it flows because they're so similar all the time. With Kendrick, I tried to start United in Grief to start this album, and then go right into Squabble Up instead, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. Wesley's Theory to start off the album, Shireen to start the album, and it just doesn't fit. Blood, maybe Blood would maybe fit. It just doesn't fit, you guys. And that's what makes him so great, because each album is entirely different. You want therapeutic, you want to get to know Kendrick on a deeper level, the entire album, kind of, sort of. On a very deep album, you want Mother Eye Sober, you want We Cry Together, that's Mr. Morale. You're not going to get that on Damn or GNX. And I love that. The Heart Part 6 is flawless. This is something that we actually finally got to hear. And you know what? I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. I feel like a lot of these rappers don't understand that we want to hear more from you in different places, not just the same place that you grew up at. Kendrick really didn't talk about anything that happened before the beef and at Good Kid, Mad City. Like, he didn't talk really about any of those things. Like, he really spoke on. And we have Good Kid, Mad City. We have Compton. We have that. No, but what he really spoke on in the Heart Part 6 is stuff that we never heard before. We got to hear about his producers. How much he loves and respects his producers. How Schoolboy Q, I didn't know that Schoolboy Q was really like the runner. Like, we didn't know that Schoolboy Q was really the one that didn't want to rap. And he just was someone that was protecting him. No cap. And then he just was able to get involved with it. I always knew that J-Rock was the first one, but just hearing that law of association, hearing the gems of, hey, I just wanted to wait my turn. I wanted to be behind J-Rock, go wherever J-Rock was going with the, signing his deal, everything like that. And then now look, I'm in the production, I'm in the producer phase now, I'm in the executive phase now. That is just so empowering. Hearing about Dave. And this is also a key point. We never had a heart on the album. Out of all his hearts, 1 through 5 has never been on an album. And that's what makes a lot of people think that this is just the rollout to his real album. And I actually am on board with that again, because he's intentional. We're going to get to that with Gloria in a second. He knows what he's doing. Everything that Kendrick does has purpose and meaning. But you know what? Let's go right into GNX. GNX at first, I was a little disappointed. I was like, I don't want it to be, I wanted it to be Heart Part 6 right into Gloria. But you know what? GNX has grown on me. The last verse is really the worst verse on the entire album though. I don't like that way of rapping at all. And that's the side note. The features didn't really do nothing crazy besides SZA. The rappers were cool, they were tough, but no one really stood out and was like, yo, I gotta re-listen to that feature again, in my opinion. And I wish that they kind of would have given more aggression like that, but maybe that's just their style. The last feature though, I really did like Tell 'em Peso did it. Like, that was cool. But the last feature, I wish that they would have stopped GNX right at the end, because yo, I can't lie, that beat was really weird at first, but now that I'm in the pocket, I fuck with it heavy. But going into the last song, Gloria. Gloria and Reincarnated are special, top tier song making. Gloria, it has mixes of Whitney in there. Don't get fooled. It's still some subliminal love and all that type of stuff with Whitney in there. But it's about his pen. And when every time you re-listen to it now, knowing that it's about his art and not his woman, man, it really pours into what we have to do in our own purpose in our own life. You can use this song for your own passions in your own journey. I'm using it thinking about my own stuff like, yo, my camera, my laptop, my art, my purpose is disappointed every time I'm not creating because I'm serious about what I want. I should be putting forth towards that. And even still, like he said about falling out of love sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I don't feel like doing it. And sometimes I'm like, you know, I need to take a little break. I need to go on a little vacation and then I'll miss the music again. I'll miss recording again. I'll miss creating again. It goes hand in hand. But then hearing about the art was just so powerful, so important. But you know why I also feel like this is going to be, there's going to be a deluxe or there's going to be another album after? The way that it ended almost off a cliffhanger. I see you, you see me, both see what we want. I don't believe that that's really how Kendrick wanted to would end the album that he's really putting his time into. I don't believe so. And look at my saint and my sin going back and forth throughout duality. For Reincarnated also, you guys, let me know who you guys think the first two is from. I'm hearing Billie Holiday. I'm hearing John Lee Hooker. Some even said Jimi Hendrix, Chuck Berry, and Jackie Wilson as well. So please comment below exactly who they were. But the whole message behind it is black artists, superstar level artists that all fell victim to temptation and to addiction. And we heard about it in Mother Eye Sober where he's addicted to lust. We heard it in Swimming Pools where it was a lot of drinking and alcohol. And also we heard it in Damn where he has all of the emotions and all the emotions and feelings and temptations of being addicted to his ego. How many times have we heard in a Kendrick song that it's like, yo, you gotta let your ego go. So it's still a battle because he's not perfect. He's a human being. He is a fallen angel that wasn't patient. Look at this right here is God talking to the devil, talking to Lucifer. Promise you, honestly, every single listen, I'm starting to realize that this is probably the most important verse within us understanding Kendrick Lamar's duality complex and him talking about all the songs and albums that Kendrick has done. This is where he finally, I feel like, kind of can express it the right way he wanted to, talking to God, because at the end of Damn, where he has the song God, he kind of tries to have that God complex, be humble and all that type of stuff on Humble. But this is where I feel like he finally gets it exactly how he wants it here. My present life is Kendrick Lamar, not as Kendrick Lamar is. And so the whole time, this is a spirit, the devil's spirit, going in to each amazing artist that we've had, that we've talked about. A rapper looking at the lyrics to keep you in awe. The only factor I respected was raising the bar. And that's why when we have those dope, funny memes where people they're cracking on Kendrick being in the studio, having the producers start over again, having the producers make it perfect, make it better. That is who he is. He wants it to be perfect. Luther Vandross, my Nana just told me like 2 hours ago that Luther Vandross is someone that really needed everything to be perfect, they were told. Like the bands and everything said, hey, he is hard on us. He wants it to be perfect. And so that's important. He has Luther up there. My instincts sent material straight to the charts. Look at my father kicked me out the house. I finally forgive him. This is him talking about God kicking him out of heaven. Ego and pride had me looking at him with resentment. Yes, every time he talks about that. Pride is one of my favorite songs from Kendrick. And now he's expressing everything he did was selfless, but he also almost has a tally board saying, look at all the things that I did that was good. It's just like how people sometimes have problems with charity because people expressing their charity, which I don't. I actually fuck with it heavy. Like if I really like those videos that they do where they give money away to people. I don't care that they're making money off the video. You're helping someone. Who cares if you're getting money off the video? But some people have a problem with that because some people, they do it just because they want the notoriety of, hey, you guys, guess what I just did? I just gave money over there. And you're like, well, that's great. But why are you, sometimes it could be, where are you trying to get from this? And so he's saying, well, tell me everything then. Tell me everything. You're so selfless. Talk about it. That's why he said, son, you do well, but your heart is closed. I can tell residue that lingers from your past creates itself. Kendrick always speaks on having an old soul. In the beginning song, he says, I might have even built the pyramids. I have an old soul. A lot of times I feel like I have an old soul. So some things can linger into Father, I'm not perfect. I got urges, but I hold them down. But your pride has to die. You don't hold them down. Your pride has to die. You have to stop going into war. See, look it. You love war. No, I don't. Yes, you do. How can they forgive? There's no forgiveness in your heart. I could tell you where I'm going. I could tell you where you are. Ooh, ooh, you fell out of heaven because you was anxious. This is where it gets important. Didn't like authority, only search to be heinous. Isaiah 14, we have to dive into Isaiah 14, of course, on your own time. On your own time, dive into Isaiah 14. One of my favorite verses, I got Isaiah verse 3:6, I believe, right here. This is where it all wraps together. My greatest music director was you. It was colors, it was pinks, it was reds, it was blues. Reds and blues, right? Pyrus and Crips flowing together was pinks. Why? Because of you. It was harmony and motion. He is a prophet. He's not a savior. Mr. On the Big Steppers, I'm not your savior. I'm not perfect. I'm not here to save nobody. But I am here to be a prophet and being here to express, give you guys game. But now here we are, centuries you manipulated man with music, embodied you as superstars to see how you moving. You crush a lot of people keeping their thoughts in captivity. And I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy. Then let's rejoice where we at. I rewrote the devil's story just to take our power back, carnated. That is the most important thing. Because look I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy. Why would he say that? He's ashamed. It's him deep down saying, I'm ashamed of what's happened. You know, I'm ashamed of really creating that. And it's God. I believe God was speaking that as well. I'm ashamed that I ever created that enemy. Talking about the devil. Or it could have been Kendrick talking about the enemy of everything that's been going on. I vow my life just to live one in harmony now. Right? So I vow for my life to be more in harmony. This is what I'm going to focus on. This is what I'm going to really push towards. Is be more in harmony, not have this duality. I'm going to try to bring this together and have more balance. The yin and the yang is there, but have more balance. I rewrote the devil's story. I'm the one. All these past lives, I'm the one. I'm finally going to heal and I'm going to be the prophet. I'm going to rewrite the devil's story just to take our power back. It's just like this. Your great grandparents were alcoholics. Your grandparents are alcoholics. Your parents are alcoholics, and you can see what it's done. And now for you, I'm going to rewrite the devil's story. The devil, no. In my life and in my future timelines, my future generations, we're not going to have this unhealthy environment and this unhealthy household, this unhealthy body. I'm going to rewrite the devil's story. With that being said, GNX, I'm having such a great time with this album. There's so much more to pick apart. I'm just one person. There's so many dope analysis out there, so watch them all. Thank you guys for watching this video. With Kendrick Lamar, man, I love this dude so much. This dude is just an amazing artist. He's my favorite artist, and I believe that with this album and everything that he's done and about to do the Super Bowl stadium tours, he's already been the GOAT rapper for me, but he's pushing into a different stratosphere when it comes to the greatest artists of all time as well. Going into that realm, there's no one close to him when it comes to a current rapper. No one close. And he just built different. This isn't Kendrick's best album to me. I definitely feel like the features should have been better. And of course, with just the cheesy, the quirky, him having fun, you're gonna have that free feeling and silly feeling, which does happen. But I feel like the other songs are like, my God, wow, he's going crazy. And even the ones that are silly, it's fun. The dances are coming. Kendrick's just stepped into a whole nother space. And I'm loving to see it. I'm loving to see it. This isn't a 10 out of 10 Kendrick album, but I give this album a 9 out of 10. It delivered exactly what he wanted it to deliver. No cap. It's your boy JaKar. I'll talk to you guys. Peace out.